Hi, my name is Lena. I am a self-taught dressmaker. I've sewn for most of my life and I have made a huge range of garments and items from cloth diapers to a wedding dress. In this video I would like to show you 10 tips that turned my hobby into a profitable business. Add seam allowances to a paper pattern first and then use this pattern to cut out the fabric. This way it will be easier to lay out the pieces on the fabric and you will never end up with them to be too close for the seam allowances. I cut my seam allowances the same all over the garment. You can trim them, but you can never add them. Mark everything precisely. Precision is the key. You have to know where your armhole depth line is, waistline, hip line, all the notches for the sleeve, to sew in the sleeve, and of course the notches to align pieces of the pattern to each other. Make test garments first. You'll have to try the pattern before you make it out of your expensive fabric. It will save you lots of time and lots of heartache if you see what you're going into before you cut your expensive fabric. Based on the slippery, tricky fabrics, stable fabrics can easily be managed with pins. As you sew, never watch the needle. Watch the side of the pressing foot or the line on your throat plate to make sure that your seam is always straight and precise. Then you grade the seams. First you trim the seams, then you grade your seams. Use the sharpest scissors available and only use them for fabric. Never cut paper with your good scissors. Now I'm going to grade the seam. Grading is just cutting one seam allowance shorter than another. So on another side, after you have pressed your fabric, it does not show the ridge, and it's very important, especially when the seam is on a very visible place. Okay, grading, graded seam. Okay, another very important thing to do is understitching. Understitching keeps your facings on the back of the garment and they never creep on the face of it, and you never have to think about them again. To do that, you press them out, press the seam allowances towards the facing. So pretend this is the facing and this is the garment. Towards the facing, and then you understitch them. To understitch the facing, you have to sew really close to the seam, on the facing, not on the face of the garment. Stitch seam allowances to the facing itself. Again, I'm not watching the needle, I'm watching the side of the pressing foot. Once you've done that, you see this seam. After you have pressed the seam flat, and this is the face of your garment, your facing will always stay in the back of it. Pressing the facing, and here we go. Nice sharp edge, no stitching on the face of the garment, and the facing stays where it should. Cross the wrong side of your pattern with a chalk. This way you will save yourself confusion and repeated trips to the cutting table to see which side is right and which side is left. Appropriate tools will make your sewing much easier and will produce much more professional result. Tailor's clapper and point presser for pressing lapels and corners. Tailor's ham, wonderful tool, everyone should have one. And of course the pressing cloth. This is a silk organza. It is see-through, it takes lots of heat, and it will stop shine on the face of the garment when you press them. You have to have some silk organza. These are the 10 tips that took my hobby, sewing, to a next level. Now my results of my sewing look really professional, and I love them. So ask if you have any questions. Bye.